In this video, we'll talk about how to find the equation of a hyperbola given the vertices and the asymptotes. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we're told that the vertices are located at 1, 0 and negative 1, 0. And let's say we're told that the asymptotes have the equation y equals plus or minus 5x. So when we're working with these types of equations, it helps if we can sketch a graph just to visualize what's going on. So we're told that the vertices are at 1, 0. So let's say this is 1, 0. This is one vertice, and the other vertice is negative 1, 0. So right here. So because these two vertices fall on the same horizontal line, it means that the hyperbola is going to open up left and right like this. So these two will open up away from each other. Now, when we have a hyperbola that opens left and right like this, the formula that we can use to describe it is x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Now, if we instead had a hyperbola that was opening up and down like this, then this x minus h and this y minus k would be flipped. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we need to first identify what is the center of this hyperbola, because the center has the coordinates h, comma k. So we need to know what are h and k in this equation. Well, it helps if you know that the center is located directly in between the two vertices. So what is the point that is directly in between these 2 points? That would just be the point 0, 0 right here. And if that's not immediately obvious, you can use a trick where you just take the average of the x coordinates and the average of the y coordinates. So the average of the x coordinates would be 1 and negative 1, so the average of those two is just 0. And the average of the y coordinates, the average of 0 and 0, is also 0. So we know the center is 0, 0. Now we need to figure out what is a squared and what is b squared. So when we have a hyperbola that opens up left and right like this, the equation of the asymptotes can be written like this. Y is equal to k plus or minus b over a times x minus h. Well, in this example, we know that the k and the h are both equal to 0. So this actually simplifies to y is equal to, this k is gone, this h is gone, they're just zeros, plus or minus b over a times x. So what is a? Well, a is the distance from the center to each vertice. So we can see that this distance right here is just 1. We would have to add 1 to the center to get to each vertex. So if a is 1, well, we know that the asymptotes are described by this equation, y is equal to plus or minus 5x. So notice that this b over a must be equal to 5. And we just found that a is equal to 1, so if we have b over a is equal to 5, and b over 1, which is just b must be equal to 5. So now we know a, and we know b, so we can write our final solution as this. X minus h, so h is 0, squared, over a squared, so we said a is 1, so 1 squared is just 1, minus y minus k squared, k we said was 0 as well, over b squared. B we just found was 5, so b squared is 25, is equal to 1. So we can write our final solution as x minus 0, that's just x, so we'll have x squared, and written over 1, we don't even need to include that denominator, minus y minus 0, that's just y, so y squared over 25 is equal to 1. And that will be our final solution.